Hi, my name is Tina Bolt. I am a senior in college at Presentation College in Aberdeen, South Dakota. I am currently in a racism and sexism class at Presentation College where I need to conduct a research on different types of racism in Aberdeen, South Dakota. I have interviewed 7 students where they have given me different accounts of if they have experienced racism and just general accounts of racism in Aberdeen, South Dakota compared to where they're from. What is racism? According to Google.com, racism is the belief that all members of each race possess characteristics or abilities specific to that race. This may distinguish this race as inferior or superior to this race or to other races. It is also defined as prejudice or discrimination directed against someone of a different race based on that belief. How would you define racism?
I define racism as the hate or segregation of a certain race or ethnicity or group of people.
Racism to me is when someone is like picked on or prejudiced against just for having a different skin color or coming from a different culture. Just people kind of picking on them or treating someone worse than they would treat themselves because of their color or their culture.
It's annoying. You see it. I mean, it's not as bad as it was back in the day or whatever, but it's kind of like passive racism out here, where you don't really show it, but you could kind of tell. Then, where if I were to go back home, they don't give 2 craps about it. They would tell you it to your face, no problem.
Have you ever experienced racism in Aberdeen, South Dakota?
Well, not technically, but...
Explain that.
Well, when I came down here, I went to the fair, and I was getting dirty looked by Caucasian people. I mean, I wouldn't consider that racism, but to me, like,
yeah, I have.
Explain.
It was a brief, like, we went to a party when I first got here, and I really can't single out who it was, but someone was like, oh, those N-words are here at the party, they're here in Aberdeen, and I mean, I'm not really the type of person to be, like, really aggressive, so I was more like, you know, that's fine, if that's their opinion, then that's their opinion, so.
How can you as a person stop racism? And how can we as a nation stop racism?
As a person, I think just being friendly to everybody, being kind to people, not showing hatred, and then as a nation, pretty much just coming together, like realizing that we're all one. We're all under one nation. I would say that.
I think you still need to keep like informing people about it. More like, even just obviously there's like big things that people are sexist or racist about, but
Give
even
me an
just like,
example.
well, like obviously in the past with like Martin Luther King, obviously racist, but even just like things students say to each other and stuff.
Have you ever treated anyone unfairly based on their origin, race, or gender?
Never. 'Cause that was actually one thing that I think I even said it here in this. I was born and raised around kids, all different races. In fact, I was one of like only a couple families in my entire neighborhood growing up who was white. So I just grew up and it was normal seeing kids of other color.
Probably like subconsciously I would like to think no, but I don't think it's, you know what I mean? I think it's kind of hard not to sometimes, especially if you're irritated at a person, and just to take it out on them. And I guess you can construe it as that, but I would like to say no, I haven't consciously ever done it.
Do you think it is a privilege to be white, black, Latino, or Asian, or any other race for that sort? Skin.
I don't know if it'd be a privilege to have certain color skin. I know Caucasians are a lot more likely to, I guess they're a lot more pushed to succeed, I guess, in life, you could say, and it's not like very uncommon to see that.
Why do you say that? Do you think African Americans aren't pushed to succeed as much? Or?
Well, I just feel that like when you see African Americans that have succeeded without sports or music, it's kind of like, oh, who's that person? Like when we first got here, Dr. Momo, who's our team physician, everyone's like, he's a doctor? oh, he's a black guy? And I'm like, well, yeah, you know, like, it's not just sports and music out there, you know. So,
I think it's a privilege to be alive.
It's a pretty good attitude.
Is it apparent at Presentation College that racism is in our halls?
No, not that I know of. Everybody's pretty friendly.
From
Not at all.
everybody?
None of that PC.
Do you think you are more prone to make friends with that of your same race, and explain why?
Maybe more so the same race, I guess. I don't know. Just because that's what all my friends are now, maybe.
Have you ever had the chance to make friends with somebody outside your race? I mean, have you grown up with somebody that's been African American, that's been Latino, that's been Asian in that aspect?
Not when I was like in high school or middle, like not really, no. But now that like we're in college and stuff, yeah, more so.
I think I'm more prone to make friends with everybody. I'm pretty much a people person. I get along with everybody. Well, where I'm from is like there's a military base, so there's people coming in like left and right. So there's a whole lot of races there. Like you won't see just any one race in one area. Like it's just everybody.
Mixed all together.
Yeah.
Can you compare and contrast biased and stereotyping?
Stereotyping, for example, would be like, oh, African Americans are good at sports. That's like a stereotype. It's just something that gets attached to a culture or a population. I guess I'm really not even sure what you mean by biased.
I guess stereotyping is more like, like more targeted towards a certain race. I guess you could say like all black people like fried chicken. I guess stuff like that, which isn't true. So I don't really like fried chicken. But, compare and contrast. I'm not really sure.
Do you think you have been programmed by your environment to be racist?
I was kind of programmed like that down there that everybody was telling me when I was coming up here that, oh, it's just going to be all white people up there, that you're going to be a dominant athlete because you grew up down here around all these other different races and stuff, and when you get up there, you're going to be going against a bunch of white kids who've never seen the sun before.
How can we overcome prejudiced feelings towards another culture or race?
Kill them with kindness.
I think it's really hard to do, but like I said earlier, just if everybody would kind of like, you know, try to get to know everyone else and treat people how they would want themselves to be treated, I think you could make steps towards achieving that goal.